the Daily Misunderstandings.
Mark, he, him, 35. Autistic, works as a data analyst. Emily, she, her, 32. Allistic, works as a high school teacher. The Monday, the misinterpreted gesture. Mark is sitting at the kitchen table, intensely focused on his tablet. Emily rushes in, late for work. Emily, frazzled. Have you seen my car keys? Mark, without looking up. They're on the hook by the door, where they always are. Emily, sighing. Thanks. A good morning would be nice too, you know. Mark, looking up confused. But you didn't say good morning either. You asked about your keys. Emily, frustrated. That's not the point, Mark. It's about acknowledging each other. Mark. I don't understand. You needed information about your keys and I provided it. Wasn't that helpful? Emily, grabbing her keys.
Never mind, I'm late. We'll talk later.
She leaves, slamming the door behind her. Mark flinches at the loud noise, feeling bewildered and slightly hurt. That evening, Emily returns home, still carrying the morning's frustration. Mark is cooking dinner. Mark, as Emily enters. Hello, Emily. Good evening, my love. I hope this meets the social protocol for acknowledging your presence. Emily, rolling her eyes. Now you're just being passive-aggressive. Mark, genuinely surprised. What? No, I'm not. I'm trying to do what you said was important to you this morning. Emily, sighing. It doesn't count if you're doing it sarcastically, Mark. Mark, frustrated. I wasn't being sarcastic. I was being precise and trying to meet your expectations. Why is this so wrong? Emily, throwing her hands up. Because it's not natural. It shouldn't be a chore to greet your wife. Why can't you just be normal sometimes? Mark, voice rising. Because you are constantly changing the rules. This morning you were upset that I didn't say hello. Now you're upset that I did say hello. What am I supposed to do? Emily, tearing up. You're supposed to want to greet me because you love me, not because it's a friggin' rule. Mark, overwhelmed. But I do love you. That's why I'm trying so hard to understand and meet your needs. But it feels like no matter what I do, it's wrong. Always wrong. They stare at each other, both feeling misunderstood and frustrated. The Tuesday, the sensory overload incident. That afternoon, Emily is listening to music while grading papers. Mark comes home from work, immediately tensing at the loud music. Mark, wincing. Emily, could you please turn down the music? It's too loud. Emily, absent-mindedly. Oh, sure. She lowers the volume slightly. Mark, still uncomfortable. It's still too loud. Can you maybe use headphones instead? Emily, irritated. I already turned it down. It's barely audible now. Mark, voice strained. It is audible, very audible, and it's making it hard for me to think. Emily, frustrated. You always do this. I can never enjoy music in my own home. Mark, getting agitated. That's not true. I'm fine with you enjoying music. I'm just asking you to use headphones if you really want it that loud so it doesn't overwhelm me. Emily, standing up. Fine. I'll just go sit in the car to listen to my music then. Mark, bewildered. Why would you do that? I'm not asking you to leave, just to use headphones or turn it down. Emily, grabbing her things. Because I'm tired of always having to accommodate your needs. Sometimes I want to just relax in my own home without walking on eggshells. She storms out, leaving Mark standing there, overwhelmed by the conflict and the lingering echoes of the music. The Wednesday, the misunderstood comfort. That evening, Emily comes home looking dejected. Mark notices immediately. Mark, concerned. Your body language suggests you're upset. Did something happen at work? Emily, sighing. We had budget cuts announced today. I'm worried about my job. Mark nods and goes to his laptop. After a few minutes of typing, he turns the screen towards Emily. Mark, I've analysed the school district's financial reports from the last 5 years. Based on the data, the likelihood of your position being cut is only 12.3%. He looks at her proudly. Emily, staring at him incredulously. Are you bloody serious right now? I tell you I'm worried about my job and you give me statistics? Mark's confused. Yes. I thought concrete data would be reassuring. Emily, voice rising. I don't need data, Mark. I need comfort. A hug, some reassurance, anything but a spreadsheet. Mark, still puzzled. But the spreadsheet is reassuring. It shows that your job is likely safe. Emily, throwing up her hands. You just don't get it, do you? Not everything is about facts and figures. Sometimes people just need emotional support. Mark, frustrated. I was trying to provide support. I identified a problem, your anxiety, and offered a solution, data to alleviate that anxiety. How is that not supportive? Emily, tearful. Because that's not how emotions work, Mark. God, sometimes I feel so alone in this marriage. She walks away, leaving Mark standing there, holding his laptop. and feeling utterly lost. The Thursday, the dinner disaster. That evening, Mark and Emily are hosting Emily's parents for dinner. Emily is rushing around the kitchen, clearly stressed.
Emily, Mark, can you set the table? My parents will be here any minute.
Mark nods and begins methodically setting the table, carefully aligning each utensil. Emily, noticing, "What are you doing? We don't have time for everything to be perfect." Mark, "But this is how I always set the table. It's the correct way." Emily, exasperated, "It doesn't have to be perfect, just put everything out quickly." Mark, distressed, "But if it's not done correctly, what's the point of doing it at all?" Just then the doorbell rings. Emily, panicking, "They're here, the table isn't set, the salad isn't tossed." Mark, calmly, "It's not a disaster. The food is cooked, we have places to sit, and your parents are here. Those are the essential elements of a dinner gathering." Emily, glaring, "Can you at least pretend to care that this isn't going perfectly?" Mark, genuinely confused, "But I do care. That's why I was setting the table correctly. I don't understand what you want from me or why you're upset." The doorbell rings again, leaving the issue unresolved as they go to greet their guests. The Friday, the breaking point and breakthrough. That evening, Mark and Emily are sitting on opposite ends of the couch, the week's tensions palpable between them. Emily, softly, "Mark, we need to talk about this week. I feel like we're constantly misunderstanding each other." Mark, nodding, "I agree. I've been feeling very confused and frustrated as of late." Emily, "I know you're trying, but sometimes I feel like you don't really care about my feelings." Mark, distressed, "But I do care. I care so much that I'm constantly analysing and trying to find solutions to make you happy." Emily, "But that's just it. I don't always need solution. Sometimes I just need you to listen and empathise." Mark, frustrated, "But how do I know when you want a solution and when you want empathy? It's not clear to me." Emily, thinking, "Yeah, I guess. I haven't been very clear. I've been expecting you to just know." Mark, "I can't just know. I'm not wired that way. I need clear communication." Emily, realising, "And I haven't been listening to your clear communication. I've been reading into things that aren't there, I know." Mark, nodding, "Yes. When I say something, I mean exactly what I say. There's no hidden meaning. There is no clouded judgment." Emily, "I'm starting to understand that, and I need to be more direct about what I need, don't I?" Mark, "That would help me immensely, and maybe I need to learn to ask what you need instead of assuming." Emily, moving closer to Mark, "I'm sorry for not really listening to you. I've been so focused on how I communicate that I haven't tried to understand how you communicate." Mark, tentatively reaching for her hand, "And I'm sorry for not recognising when you need emotional support rather than practical solutions. I want to understand, even if it doesn't come naturally to me." Emily, squeezing his hand, "Maybe we can come up with some clear signals. Like, if I need emotional support, I can explicitly say that, and when I can't, you'll be there." Mark, nodding enthusiastically, "Yes, that would be very helpful. And perhaps a hand signal for when you do want practical advice." Emily, laughing, "That's a great idea. We can work on a system together." Mark, "Oh yay." Emily, "Whoa, horsey," tapping her nose furiously. As they begin to discuss their new communication strategies, there's a sense of hope and understanding that had been missing all week. It's not a perfect solution, but it's something. It's a start, a commitment to truly listening to and understanding each other, bridging the gap between their different neurotypes with patience, love, and clear communication. Don't worry, we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming next week. Square one, on the Monday. Rinse, repeat infinitely.